keep him, generally speaking, in the middle of the road. The tweets, especially as it relates to foreign policy issues, I know have been very damaging to us, And I do wish that would stop. But, as evidence this morning, it's just something he has to do.
Republicans
worry that he's, sometimes I feel like he's on a reality show of some kind, when he's talking about these big foreign policy issues. And he doesn't realize that, that we could be heading towards World War III with the kind of comments that he's making. And it's like it's an act to come, and sure that bothers me.
All right. That did it for Donald Trump, dusting off an old nickname, blasted Bob Corker, Liddle Bob Corker. This is Donald Trump today, son of the senator, sounding like a fool in the latest New York Times interview and escalating one of the nastiest feuds that the president has had with a sitting GOP lawmaker so far. But, it was Little Marco. That was last year. Trump spelled out Rubio's nickname to the New York Times in the same way. Corker has two aides online also recording, and they made sure after it ended that I was taping too. Martin tweeted Tuesday. Corker announced last week that he would not seek re-election in 2018 when his term ended. So the bottom line is the guy is stepping down anyhow, leaving, so it's not a big deal for him. But this is one of the established GOP, doesn't like Donald Trump. Several others there not on board with him, not liking him, because he's not one of them. He's not part of the country club. He's not part of that club. And folks, we didn't vote for Donald Trump for the country club. We didn't vote for these type of people over the establishment. We voted for a businessman that would change things up, switch things up radically. And that Donald Trump does very, very well. Washington has needed an overhaul for so long. It's about time. I am not offended personally by the name calling. I would rather have people's names called and called out on the carpet to explain themselves for their inability to be able to get jobs done for the American people, to have them insulted, rather have that done for them to be able to do their jobs. And that's all Donald Trump wants. And it's not, and for a lot of these folks, you can't even shame them enough to be able to change them. You can't shame them enough for them to be changed. You can't do it. Remember this guy named Ted Williams? He was a big voice guy. He did some macaroni and cheese. He was homeless, purportedly. Remember him? He was a black guy. He had this booming voice. Like that, yeah. And he was on Oprah, and Dr. Phil tried to help him, and it turned out that he was an ex-radio personality and did promos and things like that, but he was trained professionally to do stuff. I remember that, and everybody just thought he was just terrific and all that, but he had a problem. He had a drug problem. And they brought him to the best rehab the money could buy. He tore up hotels. He started doing drugs again. You haven't heard of the guy again because he's not making any money because he's doing heroin. He's on the pipe, and he's hanging out with bad people. He doesn't want to change. And the GOP, at the same time, doesn't want to change. They're addicted to their power. They're addicted to their power and their prestige, their club, on how it operates. These people think they're too important, more important than the American people. These are the elitists, and it's a shame that they lose all perspective of the little people in this country. Some have better than others, but most of them, they just have these ridiculous notions that they know better, but they don't. And with Donald Trump, they thought they'd have this guy pegged. They thought they had him figured out. And Bob Corker sounded like an idiot to the New York Times. He sounded like a schoolboy going off and ratting out somebody about what Donald Trump. You got to listen to this thing. Guy just goes.
I don't wish him harm.
Right.
I don't. I just.
I don't wish him harm. Well, that's a nice thing. I don't wish him harm. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. You don't think that there's anybody in the GOP that would wish that something bad would happen to Donald Trump? There's plenty of it, but I don't. Please. There's backpedaling going on right there.
I don't wish him harm.
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
I just,
what is it?
Just the volatility is, to anyone who has been around, is to a degree alarming. But again, I don't wish him harm. He's got people around him that have been able to keep him, generally speaking, in the middle of the road. The tweets, especially as it relates to foreign policy issues, I know have been very damaging to us, And I do wish that would stop. But, as evidence this morning, it's just something he has to do.
Republicans
worry that he's, sometimes I feel like he's on a reality show of some kind, when he's talking about these big points.
Well, he is on a reality show. It's called Being the President of the United States. It is a reality. It's a real reality show. There's nothing more real than being the President of the United States, and they just can't stand it that they have, this guy, former apprentice, as their commander-in-chief. They can't stand it. And you thought the left hated him. I mean, you can hear that the right really, they just have disdain. Bob Corker, you can hear it in his voice. They hate this guy because he doesn't talk like them. He doesn't act like them. He doesn't come from the same places as they. And again, to me, they think that they're so much more important, as if they have been able to do so much better in Washington, D.C. You got to be kidding me. Talking about reality, I would be more entertained watching Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn now, on the Kardashians. That would be much more entertaining than listening to Bob Corker go off on the New York Times about Donald Trump. I don't wish him any harm. Well, you're certainly not helping him, are you? You didn't give the interview to the New York Times to be help him. You're not supporting him. You're not showing him. Generally, we've been able to keep him in the middle, in the middle here, so he doesn't go off and crazy. But I'm afraid this guy is going to cause World War III. Excuse me. The enemies of America would cause that because it's their threats. We just want accountability. It's been such a rarity. Accountability, it's something that people don't like to talk about, but we got a bad deal. We're going to have to make sure it's a good deal so we don't have people going off on us. And like it or not, we have interest here at home and abroad. We have many military interest over there, and like it or not, it's just how it is. And over in South Korea, it's very dangerous with the North acting like this, and especially Japan. We got troops over there. We got them in Guam. It's not an easy world to live in. And Donald Trump, I'm sure, has had to learn some things. That's why he's got some great people with him, with these military backgrounds and great generals and commanders that can certainly brief him and make him understand, and he's getting it. He understands it. It's just that he uses tough talk and tougher talk and has been able to do more with ISIS in the short time that he's been with a year and a half, not even, with ISIS than Obama's been able to do in 8 years, which is a fact. Kellyanne Conway was actually talking about that the other day. But no, do you think that Bob Corker, you don't think a lot of the GOP is going to go out there and credit the president for these things? That's why he has to have people like Kellyanne Conway or Brett Bart be able to sing his praises, or his vice president to talk about these things so people can understand it and understand some of the victories, which a lot of them are happening. What do you do with a bully? How do you stop a bully? You talk nice to him? Oh, you need to stop doing what you're doing. Yeah. What happens? You got to punch a bully in the face. And that's what inevitably we're going to have to do if this bully doesn't back down. In the past, we've had bullies, and we've had to stand up to them. Have you ever had to stand up to a bully? I wonder about some of these lawmakers in Washington that complain so much. A lot of these are just spineless suits that have no problem. Go along to get along. That's all. There's just a way that we do things, and we're not going to be able to get everything, and that's just Washington. We're just going to have to put up with it. And Donald Trump is just going to have to learn, that he's not going to be able to get his way on things. They've underestimated Donald Trump. He's not a quitter. Donald Trump can find a way around something. And what did Barack Obama do? Well, Donald Trump is learning pretty quickly from Barack Obama. And that, he decided, well, listen, I can't get you to cooperate with the healthcare. The famous executive pen I used to do with Obama, executive pen, but except used for the good. Not getting like Chelsea Manning out of jail and uses executive privilege and power to do something like that, taking a criminal out. You just see Chelsea Manning out there justifying his behavior there in the service, releasing thousands of documented papers to WikiLeaks, thinking that he's some kind of hero or something like that. No, you're a traitor. It was treasonous, and he's whining and he's complaining, Chelsea Manning. Whining and complaining because he can't go into Canada. Why? Because he has a record. Still has a record. Yeah, he may have been taken out and his jail time cut short, but they didn't black out his criminal record. They don't want him to step foot in Canada. The Canadians don't even want him. The Canadians. And they're nice people. I have Canadian listeners. People listen to me in Canada. They like to hear what's going on over here. They like a little perspective, a little common sense. By the way, have a cup of common sense with our new For the People coffee mug. Where is my coffee mug? There it is. It has the For the People logo on it, and it's red, white, and blue. It's a flag. If you haven't seen our logo, it's at forthepeopleshow.com, but it's on the flag. It's got my name on it. It's beautiful. 11-ounce coffee cup, big mug, plenty of, hot soup or coffee or hot chocolate, cider, whatever you want to put in there. Yum. Absolutely delicious. But to remind you to listen to the show, you can drink your favorite beverage while listening to the show. And it's a great conversation starter to be able to share the show, and it keeps For the People on the air. So if you'd like to do that, please get your coffee cup today at forthepeopleshow.com. I'd certainly appreciate that. forthepeopleshow.com, and we're going to go ahead and run a spot for you. Introducing the official For the People coffee mug, patriotic as can be, in featuring the colorful red, white, and blue For the People logo with Keith Allen on a ceramic 11-ounce coffee mug, perfect for any beverage of your choice. This mug is a great reminder of what we stand for: God, country, and family, with conservative values and good old-fashioned common sense. To order your For the People coffee mug, pay just $20 plus $3.99 shipping and handling at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
All right, Keith Allen and For the People. Real quickly here before we sign off, North Korea hackers